Hey, Oklahoma City fan, you now are an honorary New York Knick. How about that? Because they know exactly what it's like, my man. Matter of fact, that game felt real familiar, didn't it, New York fan? It felt a little like another game one that we've had before. It felt like a really big lead suddenly blown in the fourth quarter. It felt like Indiana was a turnover nightmare for 3 quarters, and then all of a sudden, they just knew how to handle and hold on to the basketball. 19 turnovers in the first half, 25 in total. By the way, Oklahoma City only turned that thing over 7 times in that game. Halliburton was nowhere to be found for the majority of that game. All of a sudden, end of it, the ball just rattles around every time he needs it to, don't it? It's like somebody's got a string. No. Ah, there it goes. Man. How do you continuously play that bad for 3 quarters? Hey, you know what? It is what it is. The Knicks did it for a good majority of the season. It caught up to them. I mean, you would think at some point it would catch up to Indiana. They're playing what many believe is the best team in all of basketball. You're down by 15. It looks like it's over. Only a few minutes to go in that game. Oh, man. Well, that's just an ugly nightmare, isn't it? In your backyard, too. New York Knicks fan, that felt real familiar, didn't it? You know, at this point, you got to believe that Indiana's not lucky. And look, you can blame anything that you want to. You can blame suddenly taking bad shots because Oklahoma City did plenty of that. You can blame suddenly they were just real pass happy and nobody wanted to put anything up and open looks on the inside, but for whatever reason, we're not going to take the layup, getting sloppy. You can blame a lot of different things. The fact that they just suddenly weren't that good on defense, rotation from Indiana, better offensive strategy, whatever the case may be, you can put down a nail to it for just about anything you want to. The reality is they just suddenly got hot. They were horrible for a good majority of the game. All of a sudden, they were lights out from 3. Just couldn't miss. And look, the 3-pointers gradually is kind of what kept them in that game to begin with. But, you know, I just think that it's game one. It's hard because it's in your backyard. But here's the thing, and this is what I continuously keep talking about with the Pacers. Pascal is not getting the credit that he deserves for the experience that he brings to the table. I don't think anybody really understands just how the experience factor really plays into it. Because it's not just about the fact that Pascal himself has experience as a ball player and he kind of knows what to do in these situations. It's understanding what to say to teammates. It's understanding how to maneuver. It's understanding situational basketball. It's understanding a lot of different aspects, and I just don't think that people are talking about it enough. He deserves way more credit than he is getting right now. Because I guarantee you it's happening. And again, I keep talking about this, and I was talking about it all series long with the Knicks, and this is going to be a thing. When you watch the Pacers in those situations, they are always communicating. They are always signaling. They know everything. They've gone over it over and over again, and it is a combination of good coaching and players being with it. It's as simple as that. I mean, we could break it down in all these types of defenses and offenses and rotations and yada, 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 and all these other things. Sometimes it's as simple as preparedness. You know, Tom Brady said that he would retire when he wasn't in love with the preparation of football anymore. You go look at the stories of Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant And a lot of the other greats that have played any sport, John Elway, doesn't matter, any of them, what does everybody talk about unanimously? The prep work, film study, knowing the playbook, understanding situations, going over things over and over and over and over again, and never getting tired of being prepared. Come on, man. There's stories of MJ and Kobe and some of these other guys in the gym 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, 2, 3, 4 hours before anybody else even shows up, before anybody else wakes up. They're already there getting in a workout, getting in a shooting, whatever you want to call it, practice, doing free throws, hitting threes, whatever it is, they're working on something. That's just the kind of mentality that the Pacers have reminded me of, and that's what I keep bringing up this season. That's the mentality that they have to me. Hard hat. And it's really difficult to beat the hard hat mentality because they might be down, but they're never out. And the minute you start getting complacent, the minute you think you've got it in the bag, you make 1 or 2 bad decisions, and they know that they've got you. Why do they know that they've got you? Because they know what it looks like. They've seen it before, and they understand how to respond appropriately. That's what that amounts to. You got to go a full 4 quarters, man. I don't know how many. It sounds like basketball 1-on-1, right? But here we are. I'm just saying it's what separates the great teams from the good teams, the champions from the runners-up. I'm just telling you. All right, real quick here. I am thoroughly glad that Aaron Rodgers' watch 2025 is almost over, because obviously now we're going to have the signing day, probably some video footage of him pulling in on a plane that they're going to get off of TMZ, or some rando with a camera out there just happens to know when exactly that plane's going to roll in. Obviously, we're going to have the press conference and then OTAs and then training camp and all that stuff. So we're going to be getting all the Aaron Rodgers footage that people can dissect. It's just going to be an even bigger nightmare for the next. I mean, because obviously there's not a lot going on NFL wise, and of course every year we're waiting on Aaron Rodgers. What is he going to do? Was he going to stay in Green Bay or not? Was he going to stay in Green Bay or not? Is he going to stay in Green Bay or not? He ends up in New York. Then he's hurt. Is he going to stay in New York? Then he finally gets a season in. Everybody thinks he's going to be the MVP and this and that and the third. And I'm the only one who's sitting there like, that ain't happening. And guess what didn't happen? It's always something with him and a coach or a player or a trainer or a masseuse or whatever it is. He's always beefing with somebody. I wonder who he's going to beef with in Pittsburgh. I highly doubt he's going to shove Mike Tomlin like he's crazy. I'll tell you that. There's a few coaches in the league that I can tell you won't put up with it. We know Andy Reid will. We've seen it with Travis Kelce. Whatever you want to dissect it as, I'm just telling you, there's some people that'll put up with it and some who won't. Andy Reid said it was competitive nature. I don't think Mike Tomlin's going to call that competitive nature. I think Mike Tomlin is going to look at him and say, hey, Braham, might want to sit on the bench before a real problem happens up in here. I just don't think Mike Tomlin's the one to play with. I don't know that. Look, maybe it's what Aaron Rodgers needs, but I think it's what he needed 5 years ago when maybe he was still truly coachable. And even then, it's suspect to say whether or not he was coachable 5 years ago. I just don't see this thing working out. I don't see it working out because, let's just be clear. He's not the same Aaron Rodgers that he's been throughout his career. I don't think age is necessarily a thing. Okay, he's 40, whatever. Tom Brady defied that. I don't think that's a thing anymore. We've seen, LeBron put up crazy stats, regardless of how you want to view it. He did it. We saw Jordan break that mold years ago. Age can be a mindset in some aspects, right? It all catches up to us no matter what, but I'm not going to say it's age. What I'm going to say is it's physical limitations. And then the other aspect is the playbook. Look, when they threw the football on first down, weren't they getting like 9, 11 yards, 12 yards? I mean, some crazy number like that with Russell Wilson. But for whatever reason, they wouldn't do that all the time. So if you're going to play this standard run game, that's not going to work. And Aaron Rodgers is a look-off guy anyways. And he got used to Nathaniel Hackett's system, which is run the football on first down, draw play, screen play on second down, look-off play on third down. I mean, that's his whole MO, right? So I don't know that it's going to work play calling wise, but, for the most part, we don't know until we know, right? And I'm not going to sit here and dissect and try and figure it out, guy, and look for mannerisms and body language and all this other stupid nonsense that they're going to be doing at ESPN and CBS and wherever the hell else is going to be frothing and foaming at the mouth for this ridiculous footage that we're about to get and the ridiculous angles that we're about to see. And, oh, man, I just can't. And I just know the angles that everybody's going to take. Somebody's going to look at it and go, oh, the body language suggests this. Oh, the body language suggests that. Oh, the play calling. Look, these maneuvers always boil down to the same damn thing that they boil down to, and that is simply this. Number one, is it going to work out in the locker room? Don't forget, when Peyton Manning went to the Denver Broncos, the first thing that they talked about was how good he was getting along with the new guys. He was the man in Indianapolis. You still got to kind of work your way in when you're going to a new football team. That's period. Look at what happened with Antonio Brown. Okay, that's number one. Number two, schematically, yes, is it going to work? Look at Odell Beckham Jr. He was doing just great with the Rams, but it didn't work out for him so much in Cleveland. Now, you can say injuries played a part in that, and I'm not going to say no to that, but let's be honest, when he was in there, safety blanket plus every play was basically designed for him. They were better without him. Now, everybody said he was professional, so he's getting along with the guys in the locker room, and he's got their respect, but for whatever reason, the system's not there. Which leads me to my third thing, and that is coaching. Can he get the philosophy of the coach? Do they get along? Because if player and coach aren't getting along, then that's going to eventually trickle down to all the other. Because then eventually that's going to all trickle down to all the other teammates. Because somebody who doesn't get along with a coach eventually isn't going to be able to keep his mouth shut. And we know Aaron isn't exactly a guy who's not quiet. Let's go with that when it comes to coaching aspects. I'm just throwing it out there that I don't think it's going to work the minute he decides he doesn't like Coach Tomlin. Now, who knows? He might just fall completely in line with Tomlin's philosophy. But then that leaves the other two things. And he's had beef. And don't pretend that he hasn't. So we'll see. All right, everybody. I am Drew Duncan. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram is all Drew Duncan Radio. Wherever you listen to the podcast, simply take your device and play the Drew Duncan Sports Show. And, of course, I am on TikTok and YouTube, the RL Drew Duncan. Everybody stay safe, take care of yourselves, and have a wonderful rest of your night and or day.